Basically, our entire economy has been run off of fossil fuels for more than a century. And the issue there is that fossil fuels are limited. They're in finite supply. So we're going to run out at some point. But even before that, the environment is being damaged, carbon dioxide, global warming. And finally, it's the economy as well. Our fossil fuel sources, coal is produced in country, but we don't produce any in state. And so all of our money that we spend on coal-produced power basically is money that we're exporting to other states, other regions of the country. And because of that, it means that we have to be doing something else to pay for it.
Columbia Water and Light is offering the Solar One program as an opportunity for Columbians to get involved with solar energy. Solar energy is still 2 to 3 times more expensive in the Midwest, and so a lot of people can't afford to spend a lot of money to put solar panels on their homes. As a way of investing, they can pay $4 a month and help pay for solar energy being developed right here in Columbia, Missouri. We get wind power from northeast Missouri. We have a landfill gas project right here in Columbia that's producing renewable energy. Solar energy is still 2 to 3 times more expensive than other sources of energy, so we can't necessarily just throw it into the mix. However, we do want to make sure that we're encouraging it because solar energy is important. Our hope is that eventually solar energy costs will go down and it will be part of our regular and renewable resources.
The year 2008 is our first year for the mandate to be implemented, and we're required to produce or acquire 2% of our electricity from renewable energy this year. And in 5 years, then it goes up to 5%, 5 years later to 10%, and then finally in 2023 it'll be 15% of our power. And that is a pretty good chunk of energy when you look at 2023, because that will require, we're predicting somewhere around 250,000 megawatt hours a year.
One of the projects with Solar One is at one of our pump stations here in town. We partnered with Dow Chemical and Missouri Solar Applications. Dow Chemical got a grant from the federal government and partnered with Missouri Solar Applications, who installed a solar panel on city-owned property.
We've situated it on a piece of property that's owned by the Water and Light Department. It had not been in use. It just basically is an open field right here in the middle of town. And so it was a very timely and useful place to put it.
We just think that solar is the future. I mean, we have such an opportunity where you can reduce your carbon footprint, there's no water involved in it, there's no pollution coming from solar, and it's just a very logical type of energy source for us.
There's so much energy coming from the sun that we ought to utilize that. And as a country and as you know, someone that really wants to do something that's positive for people, which is one of the things that we wanted to do with you know, with a company that we farm, this is a great way to go do that. So, in our work with Columbia Water and Light, we wanted to use state-of-the-art, maybe even cutting-edge technology. So what we used here is called CIGS, C-I-G-S, which is copper, indium, gallium selenide. It's a ceramic kind of material that's put on layer by layer, but it can be mass-produced very quickly. We then take that base material and encapsulate it with protective materials. But the ceramic itself and the photovoltaic material is very solid. I mean, it was used in space shots, which is a very harsh environment, and so it will last a long time. In fact, there's no reason why it shouldn't last basically forever.
You already have the ability right now, with the roofs we have, to generate enough solar power for Columbia's needs for the next 50 years.
Columbia Water and Light is partnering with businesses on the Solar One program because they have large rooftops with good solar exposure. They can also get tax credits from the federal government for investing in this. So what we do is we approach businesses if they're interested. They pay for the systems to go in, and then we sign a power purchase agreement.
The first partner that we're working with is Quaker. Quaker Oats is putting 5 kilowatts of solar power on their roof. We're buying that and it's going into our solar, into our distribution for 10 years. We'll be buying power from them and then reselling that to our customers. It's like having a coal-fired plant someplace off in another county or something, that we then buy that energy and then sell it to our customers.
PepsiCo, who is our parent company, one of the prime directives is performance with a purpose, which means we want to give back to the community and do good things for the environment. Our employees here have a rich history of doing good things for the environment, and this is a great current case of working with the city and providing clean and renewable energy for the citizens of Columbia.
Renewable energy project Solar One is going to help us build on the city's portfolio of renewable energy. It's going to allow us the opportunity to reduce greenhouse gases and meet the objective of the company, which is making tomorrow better than today. As an outcome of the Solar One project, our biggest initiative as a company is to encourage other businesses to be part of the process to provide renewable energy for the community to use here in Columbia.
Quaker, I have to say, was very much a catalyst in this whole regard, because they were the ones that came to us and challenged us to come up with something that they could get involved with. And it sort of like worked with a number of different entities that said, well, why don't we try creating this business model, this solar utility, and see if the community, see if the customers actually would want to support it. And if they do, I think it has some great potential and we can go some great places with it.
Right now, Solar One is in the beginning stages. We're still developing programs. We have a waiting list that customers can sign up online, and once we have the energy available to sell, then we'll take people from the waiting list and really sign them up and get them started in Solar One. Right now we have about 70 slots available with the city project, and then we'll have about 70 slots become available when the Quaker plant goes online. The differences between Solar One and other green pricing programs that other utilities offer is that we're not buying renewable energy credits. We are producing solar energy right here in Columbia, Missouri. But it's not something that we have to worry about whether it's really being produced or not. We can certify it that it's happening because it's happening right here in town, and we can monitor it very closely. All the money going into the Solar One utility stays in the Solar One utility. It doesn't end up in the general fund to be used on other projects. It is to strictly develop solar projects here in Columbia.
This is somewhat of a pioneering effort, especially in this region. We have seen instances of utilities doing such things across the country, but mainly on the coasts, and in particular in California. So this is somewhat of a novel concept for this area, and hopefully it won't be it may be the first, but hopefully not the last.
I think we're going to see more renewable energy in our portfolio. One, the cost is becoming more competitive with traditional sources of power, but the biggest benefit is that it's great for the environment.